Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Romani. Sometimes we have goals and they can be big or small goals, but the distractions that you have in your life keep you from accomplishing those goals. I really feel like 2024 can be all of our year, and I say that because the content that I'm seeing is so geared toward reinventing yourself and growing and just evolving as people. And since we all feel like that, I know that if we use this collective energy of not being distracted, we can all glow up and level up together. But in order for 2024 to truly be our year, we have to get some things together. And number one, we got to get the distractions out of the way. So I've made a list of some distractions that are probably in your life, keeping you from your goals and hindering you. I want you to write them down or just make a mental note of them. I will have timestamps below so that you can click through the video. But I really want you to listen to this video, see if you have any of these distractions in your life and either limit or cut them so that 2024 can be a life-changing year for you. Distraction number one, social media. I know you probably think that it's a little interesting that I listed social media, being that I am a content creator, but even as a content creator, and even though this is my job, I can definitely see how social media can keep people distracted because it even distracts me at times. Right now, I am going through sort of a cleanse. Today is day one, girl, so we'll see how long this lasts. But I'm going through a cleanse where I'm not trying to use social media for leisure time. Like, I'm not trying to use it just to be on it. I'm not trying to use it to see what everybody else is doing. I'm literally using it just to work. And I will be open and say, I've tried to do this many times before and I've probably got back on there after 2 or 3 days. But right now, I'm just feeling very overwhelmed and burned out by social media. So I don't think that I'll really be logging back on the Instagrams or the TikToks anytime soon, unless it's for me to post my business. And it honestly can get overwhelming and distracting even for us business owners, because you can be getting on social media to market your business. Next thing you know, you're scrolling for 15 minutes or an hour or 2 hours, and like the day is passing you by and all you were trying to do was market your business. I also hear a lot of people say that social media is negative. I don't truly agree that it's negative. I feel like it can be negative if you allow it to be negative. So that's not really my stance on it. I just feel like we are over consuming. We know too much about what everybody else is doing. I know what you ate for breakfast, what you ate for lunch, where you live. Like, I know too many things about people, and I just don't need those kind of distractions in my everyday life. I don't need to know about your everyday life in my everyday life. And many of us are spending 30 minutes to 6 hours a day on social media, and you can check your screen time and see exactly how much time you're spending on social media. But we're spending so much time scrolling on TikTok and Instagram, and that time can be spent elsewhere. Now, I'm not saying that you have to constantly be working or anything like that, but it's taking time away from other things that you can be doing in your life. Now, you can be using that time to work, but you can also be using that time to plan. Like, maybe you want to plan for the new year, for next week, for a new month. It can be taking time away from cleaning your house, from maybe having actual conversations with actual people, or it can just be taking time away from you pouring into yourself. I feel like we kind of forget to pour into ourselves, and sometimes we just need to relax. I think that social media kind of takes that time away from us, because even if you do have downtime to relax, what are you going to do? You're going to get on your phone and you're going to scroll. We as humans need time to rest, and we have to give ourselves that time to rest without any of the devices. A few months ago, I saw someone talking about how nobody is bored anymore. Like, nobody is comfortable with being bored. And by bored, I just mean not really having anything to do. But nobody's comfortable with that because we have access to the outside world 24/7. Sometimes you just need time to be alone. And since we are over consuming, we need alone time a lot, because the majority of our time is spent knowing what everyone else is doing. And this can be so distracting, especially when you're entering a new season in your life where you're trying to level up. Furthermore, in this new season, you don't need the constant energy that social media brings to you. Now, I said that I don't think that social media is negative, but it can have some negative effects on you because social media can definitely dictate your emotions. If you wake up and immediately get on your phone, you get on Instagram, you get on TikTok, and you see a post or a video or a reel that you really didn't need to see, it can either stir up negative emotions, it can make you feel so many different ways, and that can literally change the entire course of your day. You could have been about to have a good day, but you picked up that phone, you saw what everybody else was doing, and maybe you got discouraged, maybe you felt sad, and that literally changed the trajectory of your entire day. We cannot keep allowing that to happen, especially if we're trying to enter this new season of winning. We're trying to win in this next season, and distractions always keep you losing. Always. 2024 is all about you, so you have to constantly be intentional about making it all about you. Stop letting social media consume you. Stop letting other people's lives consume you, and be consumed with your own life. Distraction number 2, friends. Friendship can be such a beautiful thing, but friendship can also be very distracting if you allow it to be. Just a few examples: hour-long phone calls with friends, like y'all on FaceTime for 5-6 hours, or even 2-3 hours, or even going out constantly with your friends every weekend or even every weekday. It can be distracting when you have things to do. Let's just say you did have the hour-long phone call. Okay, now you're not getting anything done within that hour or the hours that you're on the phone. Or let's say you did go out with your friends. You may have had things to do the next day. The night may have gotten crazy. Y'all didn't get back home till 5 a.m. You had something to do at 8 a.m. Do you see how this can be distracting when you actually have goals and you have things to do? I am so grateful that myself and my friends are kind of on this journey where we're trying to get things done, not even just for 2024, but just for life. We are trying to get our lives together, and we plan when we're going to see each other. And that has been the best thing ever, because we were going through like a going out era where, girl, we was out all day, all night. But we finally had to sit down and say, we're doing too much. One, we're spending too much money, we're giving too much energy, and we're not working on the things that we said we wanted to work on. And that's very big in friendships. You have to hold each other accountable. So me and my friends are now planning when we're gonna see each other. The other day, we were all supposed to go out to this restaurant, but then we was like, let's just stay inside. And I talked about this on Instagram and I posted it, and people were like, oh my God, I need to start doing that, because I talked about how we were able to save money. We were in the bed by 11:30 p.m. Like, it was a good time, but we stayed in the house, we saved our money, and we ultimately worked on the things that we wanted to work on, which is saving. And, you know, we had things to do the next day, so we weren't out all night. And people on Instagram were like, oh my God, like, I need to do this. I'm gonna tell you, if you didn't already think about it, plan your outings and maybe just stay inside with the girls, because that will help you with all of your goals. It's gonna help you wake up early. It's going to help you save your money. Like, stay in your house. In this season, you may have to plan a little bit more when it comes to seeing your friends and going out with your friends. Y'all may have to say, hey, are you available in 2 weeks on this Saturday? Or are you available on January 7th? Like, you're gonna have to ask your friends the exact days and times that they're available, because y'all can't just be together all day, every day. As an adult, we have things to do. I know we would love to be with our friends all day, every day, but we have things to do. And furthermore, if you're trying to get to a certain destination in your life, you cannot be distracted by hanging out all the time. Now, you can hang out, just don't make it your entire life. And y'all can hang out when you get to where you need to be. Then you can be hanging out every day. Y'all can see each other. But even then, you're an adult now. You have things to do. And if you notice that your friend is in a season where they're kind of drawing back a little bit more because they're working on themselves and they're in a season of just being in solitude, please don't be that overbearing friend that's like, why aren't you texting me? Why aren't you calling me? Now, I will say you do have to evaluate your friendships, because sometimes people are really not your friends, but sometimes people are really trying to get their lives together, and it is nothing personal. Distraction number 3, gossiping. Now, I could have put gossiping in the same category as friendship, but I feel like it needed its own little segment on this video. Gossiping hurts you more than it helps you, because you are investing your time into somebody else's life rather than your own. The time and the energy that you spend speaking about somebody else can be time and energy spent speaking highly of yourself. It does make a difference in your life. Now, of course, you're a human. You may say one or two things, like, you're not a perfect, human being. But when you're spending all of your time, you're spending hours on hours talking about somebody else or thinking about somebody else, you're just giving that person too much energy. All of your energy needs to be going towards you and your loved ones. If you don't care about somebody, you dislike somebody, you do not need to be giving them your energy. Your energy is the most important thing that you have. Your energy goes over money, over everything. Your energy, your time, your presence, it is super valuable, and you can't just be out here giving it to everybody. So don't give it to things that don't matter. Usually when you gossip, it's about things that don't matter. And I love that when me and my best friend are on the phone, if we're about to say something about somebody, like we both do this, we'll be like, that's not even my business. Like I could bring up somebody and then we'll be like, that's not even my business, so I'm not going to even finish that thought. And I love cutting myself off mid gossip because it's not my business. Like I love that I've gotten to a space where I'm like, if it don't have nothing to do with me, I'm not even going to speak about it. Gossiping is just a waste of time, and you end up looking pressed in the end. You end up looking insane. Like the person, you know, that person, like think about it, that person in your head that like you just know who like gossips so much. We all know somebody like that. How do they look? Always ask yourself, do I want to look like them? And I'm not talking about physically, I'm talking about like when people think of you, do you want them to think of you as a gossiper? If not, then stop. And the quickest way to stop is to tell yourself to stop. So for the next 7 days, I want you to try not gossiping. See how it changes your life. Distraction number 4, TV. Now, y'all know I love binge watching a show just as much as the next person, but when it becomes excessive, you have to limit it. I definitely understand that we have those shows that we just feel like we have to watch, especially on Fridays, Saturdays, Sundays. Like the weekends are usually my TV time where I am really invested in maybe binge watching a show or catching up on my shows. But during the weekday or when I have things to do, I'm just not super invested in watching television. On the weekends, it is okay to relax and watch your comfort shows, but when you're watching TV constantly throughout the week and you are prioritizing TV over sleep, you're prioritizing TV over pouring into yourself, over resting, over cleaning your house, when you're prioritizing television over doing other things that you actually need to do, then you really need to reevaluate your relationship with the TV and ask yourself, why am I constantly feeling like I need to sit here and watch other people's lives on the TV? I promise you the television is going to be there when you get done doing what you need to do. And I don't want to be tedious and tell you to plan out every time you watch the TV, but when you realize that it's becoming excessive, take a step back. When you know that you have something to do, don't even turn on the TV, and don't try to negotiate or like ration with it. Like, oh, I'm just going to watch this. No, do what you need to do. Really take a step back and reevaluate, why am I even doing this in the first place? And honestly, do that with all of the distractions. Why am I doing this when I know I have other things to do? When I know I'm trying to level up, I'm trying to change my life. Why would I allow this distraction to distract me? Overall, we are putting ourselves first in 2024. That is the only way that you are going to change your life and just make 2024 your year, is if you put yourself first. And putting yourself first means letting go of the distractions. And I'm not telling you to completely cut them out, but you have to learn how to limit it. That is how you are going to make 2024 a life-changing year, and you can do it. Thank you so much for watching this video. I really hope that it helped you. Please let me know in the comments if you are dealing with some distractions, what they are, and how you're going to let some of them go so that 2024 can be your year. I'm going to leave everything that you need in the description box below, and I will see you in my next video.